Hello, I'm going to give you a bit of a behind-the-curtain sneak peek at the Yeti Battle Soundset and show you how the music is manipulated, how the samples are combined to create that never-ending, always variable soundscape that Syrinscape is so good at. So, if you just want to hear a demo of this soundset, jump around the video if you like. I'm going to play each and every mood from the top to the bottom, and you'll be able to hear them. But for everyone who wants to go along with the journey, I shall explain what's going on. So, Snowy Wilds, we have 3 separate wind sounds, long samples, which then interphase in different ways. Obviously, they'll always overlap in a different way because they're different lengths, so they'll shift relative to each other. So the various different wind events, the highs and the lows, will always combine in different ways, creating that ever-varied background. Essentially infinite, never repeating. Then, as a dungeon master, you might like to turn on a music element. Just to add a little bit of ooh to the environment. Or go to Snowy Wilds with music. Once you've set up your own mix here, you can of course always go here and save current state as a new mood, my music mix. Both of these music elements are also multiple samples individually being picked up by Syrinscape, randomly distributed in time, so they're always combining in new and different ways. I just had a dud take of this demo video and heard very, very different music when I turned this on, and then that was really interesting and I spoke about it, and then I made a mistake in what I was saying, so I had to stop. But this one's nice, I like this. You can see this berg element is about to stop. It's waiting now, and now playing back again. Then we go to the ruined camp, and a third music element is combined over the top of those two. In the camp, there's obviously also the sounds of tents flapping and wind sweetener, which is some sort of extra little wind elements that are combined over the top to make the wind sound like it's being heard from indoors. And then, of course, what we're all waiting for is the Yeti battle. There are 2 complete sequences here. Yeti's outside, and then Yeti's inside. And I'll show you how those 2 things work. Before we do, though, you might creep down here, turn this OneShot volume just to the middle setting, which is, sort of just normal volume, and trigger Yeti distant. I need to scroll a bit so you can see it. Here we are. What's that? You can also control the playback volume of this individual element with its own volume. So say you want that super high for some spells you're triggering or whatever, you might turn this volume down. Excellent. Cool. And when you're ready for the battle, nice. So, Yeti footsteps, exertion sounds, some armor foley, and then, yes, Yeti combat roars. Roar! Here's one about to play now. If I want one straight away, I can double click it. Look, double click, and it plays straight away. So here we have 2 music tracks. One just has a single music track in it, which plays the beginning of the sequence, the kind of the full tune. And then a whole series, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different versions of that with different mixers and a bridge to refresh the ear. So I'm going to stop this music track and double click this one to trigger the next sample straight away. This is music thin and light. Double click again to hear a different version of it that would come overlapped at the end. Here's the music bridge, which I'm in the way of. There you go. So rather than the same thing going round and round and round and round, every now and then, every 6th time approximately, you'll get this bridge passage, which is quite varied. And then, once you've been doing that for a while, there's Yeti outside still with new music, which is going to stop those music tracks and start this one instead. Have a listen to the change. Cool. All this music and the Yeti sounds all came from the Rime of the Frost Maiden adventure, where obviously there were a fair few Yetis. I don't need to tell you, I'm sure. And now here it is a standalone, so you can easily search for it. I love it. Okay, now this whole sequence then occurs also indoors. And then all these Yeti sounds, the roars and things, will all have a different acoustic applied to them. So that you'll have an indoor ambience with a bit more sort of cathedral-like echo rather than outdoor sound. Now before we do that, I'm going to trigger the chilling gaze. So we try to support all the special attacks of the monsters we have in Syrinscape, so that when you want to trigger it, you don't even have to say anything. You can just do this. I love this sound. Have a listen. And I'll just show you, this goes for so long, I love it so much. Yeti fight inside. Yeah, hear the echo and that roar. And once again, you have, when you trigger the attack of the Yeti, just touch this one shot. Yes! Maybe twice. I like it, you get a sort of a combined additive effect there. And then once again, once you've had enough of that music, the final mood starts this music instead. And then once again, you can adjust the volume of the elements. I tend to like to turn down all the sound effects after we've been in combat for a while, if combat's going on for a little bit longer, which is not such a problem with 5th edition D&D. Leave the music nice and high, which I shall do as I leave you. There's a bit of an inside peek. If you have some questions, feel free to comment, obviously, but also drop by the Syrinscape forums and ask some questions, and grab a trial Super Siren subscription and try building something yourself. Enjoy.